everyone, it's Little Blue and you're listening to my podcast, aka Little Blue, on a Wednesday evening. And a very cold Wednesday it has been today. Really super cold. We've had the woolly hats out, the extra layers, the thermals. Oh my gosh, it's been so cold today. I was half expecting it to snow at one point. But it did fill me with dread because, like I said yesterday, I haven't got a boiler at the moment and it has been really cold in the flat. But this evening, while I was cooking dinner, I've actually come up with a bit of a life hack for you. So, should your boiler break or you find yourself without heating in the wintertime when it's very, very cold, what I was doing, I was boiling the potatoes and I realised boiling the water was making the kitchen really hot. So what I did was I got a second saucepan and I just started boiling that. Just a big saucepan of water. And then I was just topping up the water so obviously the pan didn't burn out. And obviously keeping an eye on it. Please do not leave it unattended because you'll forget about it. If you're not cooking something, you will forget about it. And that in turn warmed up the kitchen, which in turn warmed up my living room. I then put a couple of candles on. So I've got a wax melt burner from a company called Darcy's. It's amazing. And I'm burning a scent called Mrs. Claus's Cookies, which just smells like cocoa butter. It's lovely. And I've got that and another candle I got for Christmas, just burning. The heat coming off from that is quite good. But these saucepans are just brilliant. And obviously when I then cooked the dinner and I took the sausages out because they'd cooked a little bit faster. And while I was then dishing up the sausages and the vegetables and all of that, I kept the oven door open. And then the oven door was making things a little bit warmer. And I was really like, I'm quite snug this evening. It's really nice. It actually feels warmer than it did yesterday. And I've got all of my animals, my microwave bought animals that I've got, a bit like hot water bottles, but not a water, doesn't have water and doesn't have a bottle. But yeah, they warm you up in the same way. That's what I mean. And I've got 3 of those. So Baby Blue's currently got 2 in bed with her at the moment, keeping her warm. I've got 1 behind my back, keeping me warm. And so our bed's going to be nice and snug tonight. She's got an extra thick blanket on as well. And we've both got our warmer pyjamas on. So, yeah, we're going to be set tonight. We're all ready. But there's a little life hack for you. If your boiler breaks, always keep an eye on it and be safe, please. But yeah, boiling water on a saucepan. Who'd have thought it? And I sort of cooked it. I put Baby Blue to bed and it started getting a bit cold again. So I've just boiled a couple of saucepans of water again. And it's been great. And then obviously you can then use that water to do the washing up or in your bath or whatever later on, as long as your pots and pans are clean. So yeah, then you're not wasting water either. So little life hack for you. And today has actually been quite a day of finding ways around issues like that, because this week, for some reason, each month, this week, like the second week, I'm always skin. I'm always like really scraping through. And this morning I was making Baby Blue's toast and I was noticing we're getting near the end of the butter. I was thinking, oh gosh, I hope I can make this stretch until payday. And then I was trying to think about what we could have for dinner tonight. And then I was panicking because we didn't actually have any vegetables. And then I suddenly remembered Wednesday is the day that our local community fridge gets their delivery. Now, I've mentioned the community fridge before, and what it is local supermarkets, shops and cafes, when they have got food that they can no longer sell because it's too close to its best before date or its sell-by date, they will donate it to this community fridge, which is run by local churches. We've got 2 in our area. I always forget to go to the one which is right next to Baby Blue's preschool. Always forget about that because I pass both of them on the way home. I only ever go to one. But anyway, so yeah, they have their delivery today, and basically you can take the food for free. They have a small donation box, and what the money that is collected is used for is to pay the delivery charges, because although the shops and stuff donate them for free, the delivery guys aren't free. So I always pop £1 in there or whatever change I've got at the time. I go 2 or 3 times a week, so they're getting a little bit of money from me. And if everybody does that, that's going to cover costs completely, isn't it? So yeah, so we popped there and we had another great haul today. They had margarine. So I got the things I needed. They had carrots, lots and lots of carrots. They had bananas. I got a 12 pack of Actimel, which is amazing. And I never ever would have thought Baby Blue would love it, but she does because her friend drinks it at preschool apparently. So that's amazing because I was really thinking we needed some sort of immune boost because of all the viruses and colds and stuff going around at the moment. They had this weird yogurt. It's a coffee and mojito yogurt. It's really nice, but it's a bit rich, so I couldn't eat it all in one sitting. So I've got some for tomorrow. But yeah, that was my dessert tonight. They also had bread and they had cakes. They had Percy Pig cakes from M&S. So Baby Blue was like, I had to hold her back from grabbing it. She was like, I want it, I want it, I want it. But they also had like potatoes and they had oranges. I got an orange. They had so much. So much. And they always do it. And they had cheeses. They quite often have dairy-free, gluten-free and vegan stuff as well. It's how I know I don't really like dairy-free stuff. I really don't like milk alternatives. I cannot do it. I have to have cow's milk, I'm afraid. It is not something I'm ever going to change to because I just don't like the rest of them. I find soy milk is too sweet and I find the others a little bit too... They just... Yeah. You know that feeling when it gets to the back of your throat and you're like, oh, no, I can't do it. But yeah, it was great. It was a great little haul. Oh, I got a little jar of mint sauce as well. So it actually saved me today. And everything I was hoping would be there was. It was just great. So, yeah, I've got my margarine. So we're good for toast for another couple of weeks at least. And then we popped to Sainsbury's and got some of the veg that they didn't have in stock and some baked beans. And yeah, we're set. We are set. And it's just a great day today. But the thing I wanted to talk about was something that happened while I was at the community fridge. Sorry, it went the long way about that. But there is a gentleman who lives locally, and I presume is probably not a very nice presumption because I presume he is a homeless gentleman. I say that because I have seen him sleeping inside a tree. It was like a fallen, hollowed out tree, and he was just coming out of it with his sleeping bag one day. So I presume that he is. He doesn't have very great hygiene, and he is very unkempt, always wearing the same clothes. And yeah, from the things you hear on the grapevine and from the locals is this is a voluntary thing. He doesn't need to be living that way, but he wants to. And what had happened today was there is a lovely cafe where the community fridge is in this church centre, and somebody he had met on the street had offered to buy him a meal. So they'd gone in there together and she'd paid for it and he'd ordered this meal. But because he has a special understanding with the staff there, he was going against what they'd agreed. So the agreement was that if he came to have food there, which they donated to him for free, he could sit in the cafe, but he would need to come towards the end of business, which was around 2:00. So anything between 1:45 and 2:00. This was just before 1:00, so he was over an hour early. And there was a little bit of confusion. The chef had seen him and just, rather than thinking, oh, there's a lovely lady who's being kind to him, I'll let him off this one-off, but I'll just let him know that the agreement still stands, sort of thing. It wasn't that busy. It wasn't a full cafe that day. So it would have been quite easy for him just to sort of swallow it up a little bit and let it pass and just think a bit more positively and kindly. But he didn't. He stuck to his guns about his agreement. And there was this big misunderstanding because I think he thought he was after free food, and I think what he gets when he gets it for free is the leftovers. But I don't think the chef had realised that it had been paid for by this lady, etc., etc. And what this sort of misunderstanding by the chef had done was it then upset the gentleman, who then started shouting at the top of his voice in front of everybody, including 3 children, Baby Blue being one of those, and stormed out. But thankfully there was this lovely lady there, and she was just like this little angel. She was stern but kind, and she diffused the situation amazingly. So she had a very angry chef, she had a very angry homeless man, and she managed to calm each one down out of the public's view. So she took the chef to one side, and you could hear her sort of talking to him. She wasn't raising her voice, he was. She wasn't. And eventually she managed to get an apology to the gentleman. She apologised to the gentleman, and she said, look, come back at your allotted time and we will get that meal for you. And it was all sorted. And it's played on my mind because it's another great example of how being positive and acting positively and kindly makes life easier and makes people happier. The lady who had offered to pay for the meal was nearly in tears because she'd caused such a fuss trying to be kind. And my worry is that she's now not going to want to be kind in case that sort of thing happens again. But thankfully it was all diffused before she left, and I think she understood that she hadn't done anything wrong, and that it was this chef being sort of very narrow-minded and quite unkind. It was mostly his fault. Well, that's my opinion anyway. But do you see my point? That if this chef had just swallowed his pride and said, do you know what? It's not that busy. This lady's been really nice to you. This once you can sit with her and you can eat the meal and show your gratitude that way. If he'd have done that, everything would have been fine. The man would have been happy. He'd have had a nice meal rather than leftover scraps. The lady would have been happy because she'd done a good deed, and the rest of us wouldn't have had to witness quite a nasty, horrible scene. So yeah, I just wanted to mention it today because it was just something that I witnessed that just proved to me that if you are calm, it can really help. And at the moment, one issue I'm having is my stress levels. I can literally just snap, and certain things just get me. And I'm thankfully finally seeing my therapist again soon, and it's definitely going to be something I address with her, because I literally, just before he did it, I nearly did it as well, because I walked in and I got told to stand one place so I wasn't in the way. And then another lady came and asked me to stand another place. And then I got asked to move again. And it was really annoying me. And I could feel my sort of my stress levels getting higher and higher and higher. And then he started. So it sort of diffused my situation. But it did make me think, seeing his situation, it made me think I've got to address this because mine was really unreasonable. I was just sort of being pushed around a little bit, which is annoying, but not as annoying as my head was making it. But that's a whole PTSD mental health thing. So I will sort it. And that's me being positive about that as well, because I know there is a way to sort it, and that is to find professional help and ask them for little tips, which is what I'm going to do. So yes, every bad situation can be easily avoided or diffused just by somebody thinking kindly and thinking, how would I feel in that situation? And I just wish we could all act like that. And that's myself included, because my stress head is not fun. And once I've got over that stress head, I'm hoping to be a much kinder and more calming person, like the lady that I saw today. I'm really impressed by her. I sort of see her as an inspiration almost. But anyway, I'm going to go now. It's the end of my podcast, but I hope you are having a good week. If you're not having a good week, find something small to focus on. It could be what you're having for lunch. It could be a TV program you want to watch. Just keep focusing on those lovely little positive things that are small that you can control. And hopefully that will make your week go better. But yeah, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.